What up, B Squad? It is your boy JB, and we are here today, you guys, with another Let's Get Into the Blogs. Yes, I have changed clothes. So before I even start with this video, I was brushing my teeth, right? Brushing my teeth, went to brush my tongue, and I look and there's a huge water stand. I was like, well, because I saw when it flew up my mouth, I thought it hit the sink. Nope, it didn't hit the sink, it hit the shirt. So I changed into this shirt. Yes, this shirt is dingy. It came out the dryer, so shut up. But this is, let's get into the blogs. This is going to be the hot topics for the week of, what week is this? May 31st through June the 6th, you guys. Wow, we're already in June. And next month is July, the best month of the year for me. But that's neither here nor there. But before we do go ahead and get into it, if you guys are watching this video or any other video on the channel, and you guys are not subscribed yet, then I need you guys to do me a solid favor and stop taking me out on this date and having me pay for it at the end of it. You guys know the routine. You can do me that favor by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, turning on your post notifications, you guys, and also by sharing the video. And with that out of the way, without further ado, you guys, let's go ahead and get into what is hot and what is trending this week. Shall we? All right, you guys. So I don't have a whole lot to talk about this week. As you guys can see, these are the little topics that I have. So we'll get into them. So we'll start up a little. Everything is going to be kind of funny, minus one story in particular. But everything is going to be kind of funny to talk about. So let's start up. I want to start. So I'm gonna go like funny, then to this serious story that I want to talk about, and then the rest of the stuff is just going to be, it's and giggles, right? So the first thing that I want to talk about is the NBA Finals, you guys. So the NBA Finals, I think it starts tonight. Well, when y'all see this, I think the NBA Finals started on tonight, which is Thursday, but then when y'all see this, Friday afternoon, yeah, I think it's Thursday. I think that's what the, neither here nor there. NBA Finals. So the teams that are in the finals this year are none other than I believe it's the Indiana Pacers and the Oklahoma City Thunder. And both teams are which they've never won a championship before. And I was like, really? The Thunder have never won? But I have to remember, the Thunder did, that was like, what, 2011? Actually, I don't remember the last time the Thunder went to the NBA Finals, but I do remember they've been to the NBA Finals. They just lost against the Dallas Mavericks that year. They lost against the Dallas Mavericks 1 year. So yeah, so both teams have, at this point, neither team has won an NBA Finals. Who you guys, if you guys watch the NBA, who you guys going for? Are you going for OKC or are you going for the Pacers? Me personally, I'm not a fan of either team, but if I were to pick, damn, that would be a hard one. That would be a hard one for me. I guess because I just like basketball, so I would just watch the game just to see, just to watch it. Because honestly, I don't have a team. I'm not a OKC fan, and I'm not a Pacers fan. So good luck to both of the teams. So we'll see who wins this NBA Finals. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the Pacers or the Thunder, honestly. I guess, since Oklahoma is our next door neighbor, I guess I'll go with the Thunder just because they're our next door neighbor. But yeah, if you guys are watching the NBA Finals, get down in the comment section. Let me know who you guys are going for, and that'll do it for the NBA. Moving on to the next story, you guys. Shall we? All right, you guys. So this is one of my more serious stories, and I want to talk about this week, and I don't really need my notes for it because I don't have any notes for it at all. But this viral sensation. Now, I've been hearing the name for quite some time, Miss Shirley. I've been hearing that name for quite some time, but I never really knew who Miss Shirley was. So I think it was like 2 weeks ago. I was sitting here on the couch and I was watching the Jennifer Hudson show, right? Now well, there are days that I watch her throughout the entire, no I don't, let me stop lying. What I do is, I have this TV in my living room at 2 o'clock. Sometimes I'll keep leaving on Let's Make a Deal after beyond the gates go off, and sometimes I'll come in here and change. I'll leave this one on Let's Make a Deal and have the one in my bedroom on Jennifer Hudson, or vice versa. Because after Jennifer Hudson goes off, then reruns of Judge Judy come on. And if you know anything about it, like my family will tell you, he loves him some Judge. Like I love me some Judge Judy. So I'll watch reruns of Judge Judy. But this particular day, I was sitting here and I was watching her. I wasn't really watching Jennifer's show. I was just in the living room and it happened. You know, it was like I said, the show was on and she was interviewing this little girl. I was like, who is this little girl? And then she said, Miss, how'd you get the name Miss Shirley? I said, wait, pump the brakes. This baby is Miss Shirley. This baby is Miss Shirley. I'm thinking Miss Shirley is, you know, a senior citizen, right? I'm thinking Miss Shirley is an older lady, probably in her 70s, going into her 80s or 90s or something, right? Doing the boots on the ground dance, right? But no, it's a toddler. It's a toddler. So Jennifer asked her, how did she get her name? Miss Shirley don't know how she got her name. Let's start there. But her mama gave her the name Miss Shirley because she said her baby was looking at her one day and she was like, don't give me no attitude, Miss Shirley. And I was like, okay, you know, that's fine. You told your baby, a baby? Girl, she's still a baby. And you told her, don't give me no attitude. Okay. Maybe she was joking. Maybe she was being facetious, right? I don't really know and I don't really care. So then, you know, Jennifer had Miss Shirley teaching her how to do the boots on the ground dance, right? And, you know, her doing the boots on the ground dance, it was cute. It was cute until we got to one particular point. Because then Niecy Nash Betts came out, right? And Niecy was doing the dance too. And I was like, okay, I don't have a problem with this. But then Miss Shirley went out of frame. And I was like, where did she go to? So the next thing you know, you see Miss Shirley in the back just twerking. I was like, and the audience is just clapping. I was like, this is weird. Because I will be honest with you, like I said, seeing her do the dance at first, I was like, oh, this is so cute. Because you see her just, you know, it ain't, the boots on the ground dance is not a bad dance. So you see her doing the dance. I was like, okay, so I'm like, here's the thing, like with me, when I was Miss Shirley's age, right? There was, you know, I knew how to do the latest dance, like now I'm finna age myself, but the butterfly, the Tootsie Roll. I know how to do those dances as what I think Miss Shirley like 4 years old. So at 4, 5, and 6, I knew how to do those dances, right? My cousins, my big cousins, they would have a house party, right? And they would invite their friends. And, you know, they'd be like, they call me by my family calls me my middle name. And they'd be like, get it, you know, and I would just start dancing, right? So, but they didn't exploit me. And I say all that to, you know, I said all that to get to this point. I just didn't, it was the twerking for me. And it was the over, like, if she, you know, cause you know the boots on, when you do the fan, boom, 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 right? And that's simple. But no, Miss Shirley got her butt tooched and just, I'm like, this is a child. Why are we doing this to a child? So then it gets worse, right? Now I know a few weeks ago, maybe about 2 or 3 weeks ago, that CPS was called on Miss Shirley's mama. Do I agree with the man? Because then a man came out and said he's the one that called, right? Now, do I necessarily agree with that man calling on her mama? Oh, this is gonna be a tough one because you guys may agree and you guys may disagree with me, but I actually kind of agree with him. I kind of agree with him, but I don't agree with him at the same time, right? Because it really wasn't his place to call CPS. It wasn't his place to call CPS on her mother, but I get, at the same time, I can understand the sentiment, right? And so she comes on social media talking about, you know, her daughter is loved and cared for, right? And I don't think people are disputing that your daughter is loved and cared for. The problem is it feels like your daughter is being sexualized. And then, now I'm gonna talk about her mama a little deeper too, because her mama plays into this. because I saw where Miss Shirley's mama has, now it's a Facebook page where it said Miss Shirley fan page only, right? And I was like, why would you use that wording? Because then they said that she had an OnlyFans page for her daughter. I was like, why would you use that particular wording, fan page only? Just if you wanna say that this is her fan page, all you had to do was say I think it's Miss Shirley's Dance University, and then it has in parentheses only fan. Nope, take that back, JB. Fan only page or only fan. Nope, take that back, JB. It's not only fan. Fan only page, right? What she could have done was Miss Shirley's Dance University fan page. What's so hard about fan page? What's so hard to say her fan page? Why did you have to put only? Like, you could have put her authentic fan page, her primary fan page, like her soul fan page, like anything besides the word only fan, like fan only page. You knew what you were doing when you did that. Then on top of that, I see that her mama is doing bookings and meet and greets for this little girl. And you see grown ass men and women clamoring to see this 4-year-old girl. You see men, like this one video I saw where she got out the car and she ran and hugged and jumped into this man's arm, and I was like, oh God, that is no. I would never. Where is Miss Shirley's father? I'm not saying it in a negative way, but who in her, like, ain't nobody in the family gonna say, girl, why do you have that baby in nightclubs around grown men and grown women? She met the man who do the boots on the ground song, right? He's talking about how he loves her and all that kind of stuff. I found that cringy and weird too. Like this whole thing with, like, this is I'm not feeling this whatsoever. I just think that this is abhorrent. This is disgusting. This is things that, pedos get off on. It's so weird. It's so weird. It's so weird. Let me know what you guys think about this whole Miss Shirley thing. Do you guys agree with the man that said he called CPS on Miss Shirley's mama? Tell me if you agree. If you don't agree, tell me why. Tell me why you, like, if you don't agree, tell me why. If you agree, tell me why. Also, tell me how y'all feel. Please tell me y'all not fans of Miss. Miss Shirley. I don't. No. It's also weird. It's always weird to me when because this is, honestly, I feel like this is a parent who wanted notoriety and fame and is vicariously living through her daughter. I think that about a lot of parents who do that with their kids, right? It's one thing if your kids say that they want to be an actor, an actress, a singer, a model, a rapper, things of that nature. It's one thing if your kids say it, but if it's something that you force upon them, like the dance moms and all that kind of stuff, if you force that stuff on your kids for your selfish needs, there's something wrong with you. But hey, that is neither here nor there, you guys. So let's go ahead and move on to the next story, shall we? All right, you guys, another funny story this week. So I feel like this was cheesy that this happened. I could fact check it, but I honestly don't give a damn that much. I just thought it was hilarious because it's been on my Twitter timeline all fucking week. And it's been on the wrong Twitter timeline at that. It's been on my, adult friendly Twitter page. And I'm like, why is this on my adult friendly Twitter page when all I look at is adult friendly stuff on my Twitter page? But it is all up and down there for you side of my timeline. I'm like, this timeline is supposed to be about adult friendly stuff. Why is this shit here? Now, again, like I said, I don't quote me on the date, but I know the birthday was this week. Now, Meghan Markle and Prince Harry, you guys know their daughter, Lilibeth, right? Her birthday was this week. And her birthday was this week, right? And so Meghan Markle, I don't know if it was Meghan Markle, if it was Harry. Moving on. So, I don't remember what day, again, I don't know what day it was that the baby's birthday was, right? But suffice it to say, oh, can I find the video? So, in the video, you see Meghan Markle visibly pregnant, right? She has on a black dress and she's dancing to a song. I think it's called, they said it's the Baby Mama Challenge. I don't remember that. If you guys remember it, please let me know when it was, what song it was for, what song it was. I don't remember it, right? But suffice it to say, she was in, like, I think she was in labor, and she had, her big belly, and she dancing, right? She dropping it low and all that kind of stuff. So the racists are, baby, they are livid. They're livid. I'm like, what are y'all so upset about? Now it's, oh, she was never pregnant. So I'm like, so y'all think that this woman rented out I'm gonna use air quotes, rented out a goddamn hospital room, her and her husband are in a hospital room with a, because they're saying she got, oh, it's probably pillows up under her, it's probably towels up under her, her stomach is lumpy. And I saw a lot of women in the comments. It was a lot of women or people pretending to be women, and even men, like, oh, she's not pregnant, she ain't pregnant, she ain't pregnant, look at her stomach, it's lumpy. Oh, when I was in labor, I was in pain. Here's the miracle about our bodies. We all have different thresholds for pain, right? What hurts you and what may be debilitating towards you may not hurt me and may not be debilitating towards me. Your threshold for pain may be low. My threshold for pain may be high. I maybe can do a lot of, like I'm gonna give you, like, prime example of women who go through labor and deliver their babies at home, and then they look like they fine, right? Tiana Taylor. Tiana Taylor had both of her kids at home. Junie was in a toilet. And I told you guys that one of my cousins, she was pregnant, right? She thought she was just constipated. Went to the bathroom, had my little cousin in the toilet. So for y'all to sit there and say, oh, I couldn't do this, oh, I couldn't do that, oh, I was in pain. She may not be in pain. Then y'all talking about, oh, epidural this, epidural that. Not every woman gets an epidural when they go through labor. Some women want, like, I know people who, I know some people who've had some women, that I'm friends with, who wanted an epidural, right? But they weren't able to get the epidural. I feel like my cousin is one of them. Another cousin that I have. I feel like when she had her son, I don't know if she had an epidural. I don't think she had one. I don't know if she had an epidural, because I think by the time they got her to the hospital, he was on his way here. I don't believe she had an epidural. I don't believe she had one. She could have, but I don't think she did. I don't think she did. But they talking about epidural this. Again, not every woman wants an epidural when they have a baby. Some women go the natural route of having a baby with no medication. So for y'all to sit here and attach your pregnancy and everything to Meghan Markle, oh, that must be the man picking up the trash. For y'all to sit here and attach your pregnancy to Meghan Markle is stupid to me, right? But then they talk about the thing on her. So people were like, that's a fetal heart monitor on her stomach. And they were like, oh, well, mine had wires and you had to be in the bed. And this woman is rich. This woman is married to royalty. Y'all think they can't afford they can afford the best? She can ask for a monitor that doesn't have wires attached to it, and that's probably what it is. Then they started going back to this video of her where they said her stomach inflated. No, it did not. The girl had on a big ass trench coat like jacket, right? She stood up. The jacket was covering her stomach. The jacket like it's the white racists to me. When I tell y'all I've been cackling at these white racists, I've been cackling at them. I was like, y'all, and even Candace from Real Housewives of Potomac, she came out and said something about it, right? She was like, and she showed a video of her when she went into labor with Jet. Is that her baby's name? If her baby's name is not Jet, my apologies, Candace. Y'all know I love Candace, but her son, when she was in labor, we see her on a big ball, and she's rocking. Candace went into bed. like Candace said, this is y'all hatred for black women. And like I said, it's a bunch of these people talking about it. But hey, it is what it is. I thought it was funny. I want you guys to tell me what you think about it, and we'll pause here and we'll move on to the next story, you guys. Shall we? All right, you guys, sticking with funny stories, let's talk about Nikki Gilbert's raggedy ass. Baby, my foot is gonna stay on Nikki Gilbert's motherfucking neck, right? So you guys know Nikki Gilbert sued Lionsgate and Starz because Nikki said that Lionsgate and Starz and even Katori Hall, they stole concepts from her play, Soul Kitchen, whatever the hell the name. Y'all know what the name of it is. I don't know what the name of it is because I don't honestly give a damn, right? And I don't fuck with Nikki because I don't fuck with Nikki. Like Selena said, with them black gums and them knock ass knees, bitch. I don't fuck with her. So, because Nikki came in like when this, I remember when she started, when she sued Starz, right? I remember when this lawsuit started. So one of the blogs had posted about it, right? And I just didn't understand what Nikki was suing for. I didn't. And it was just me asking a simple question in the blogs. What is she suing for? And so people got under my comment and they were trying to explain it to me. So then Nikki decided to hop her raggedy ass up under the comment and gonna tell me to go read, which I was like, girl, I don't care enough. And I responded to her like, first of all, I don't care enough to know. I'm just wondering what base, and that's what I really was saying. What basis do you have to sue for? Because from what I was reading and what I've heard, it doesn't sound like it doesn't sound like anything proprietary. Number one, for me personally, it doesn't sound like there's anything proprietary in there that you could say, oh, this is mine. Because honestly, your play kind of sounds a little bit like Players Club, in my personal opinion. From what I've heard, it sounds a little bit like Players Club with a different spin on it, right? Where Dollar Bill is not a straight creep, right? Dollar Bill, we know Dollar Bill was a creep in the Players Club. It just sounds like you turned Dollar Bill from a creep to a gay man. Same thing that Katori Hall did, right? So I'm like, okay, but then I've talked to people who said what Nikki is like, and I saw because Nikki's claimed that she had an Uncle Clifford in her play, but from what I've heard, it's not really the same as Uncle Clifford because Uncle Clifford, we know Uncle Clifford, she's always wearing a wig. She always got her nails done. She got her heels on and stuff. Whereas from what I've heard from the play, the Uncle Clifford in her play wasn't like that. Didn't dress as in how do I want to say this? Her Uncle Clifford wasn't feminine appearing. You know what I'm saying? So whatever. So it comes out, I think this was last week that it happened, where Nikki has been told that she owes Lionsgate $170,000 for their legal fees, right? Now, Nikki was in the comments, and I ain't got shit for Nikki because Nikki, just the week prior, you were defending Tory Lanez. And let's read this, what this raggedy, dusty heifer had to say. Because she was in the comments of, I think it's Baller Alert. So she said, I posted a few clips of my hearing on my page for people who care about advocating for fair trials and due processes. Nikki, you lost. Go to hell. Then she says, thank you for sharing this Baller Alert. And to everyone who's been praying and advocating for me, this walk ain't for everybody to agree with or understand. This might be a joke to some, but for me and my family, it's painfully real. We're millions of dollars in debt after simply going to court to protect intellectual property I created over 20 years ago. No plaintiff should ever be denied the right to present evidence or be stripped of due process. I'm praying the Supreme Court will grant my writ of, I know how to pronounce this, but I can't say it right now. And finally but I'll spell it for you, Certio, Cratory, I think that's how you pronounce that. I know what it is. And finally give me the chance to present my case to a jury. But no matter what happens, the fact that I've made it all the way to the highest court in the land on my own is something I'll always be proud of. Girl, fuck you. Fuck you, Nikki. That's all I got to say about you. Like, for real, Nikki. Go to hell. Because she was also talking about, she also mentioned Diddy and Tory's case in the comments. I was like, go ask Tory for the help since you were defending Tory last week. Go ask Tory for some fucking help, Nikki. Go talk to Tory. Go see if he can, if he can muster up some semblance of caring for you. Because at this point, I don't give a damn. I really don't. But like I said, she's saying it's intellectual property, right? But she showed some clips, and she showed a clip of a scene from her play where there's a guy getting kicked out of the club, and then she shows a scene from season 1 of the show P Valley where Diamond was kicking a man out the club. I was like, girl, that's something that happens that's something that always happens in a strip club. There is always going to be some kind of drunk, belligerent ass man who wants to get handsy with the girls, and he get his ass kicked out, right? And they may call the bouncer at their name, right? Because he called Diamond, he called Diamond a gay slur, right? So, okay, then there was she showed some of the script, right? I didn't read it, but then she showed the clip where Uncle Clifford was asking Autumn what her name was. I was like, okay, I don't care. I honestly don't care. If you guys feel anything for Nikki, go show Nikki some support. That's all I will say. If you feel anything for Nikki Gilbert, go show her some support. But as far as JB is concerned, JB don't give a fuck about Nikki Gilbert. I really, truly don't. I ain't gonna never see it for Nikki Gilbert, just like I ain't gonna ever see it for motherfucking Kelly Price. Those are two trash ass people that I ain't gonna ever see it for. R&B Divas did a number on me with those two. Absolutely the fuck not. But let's pause here, you guys, and let's move on to the next story, shall we? All right, you guys, so the next story we're going to talk about, doo-doo garbage. He's back on my timeline once again. So doo-doo garbage decided that, which all this stuff is so weird to me with him. So he went to the courts to file a petition, right, against Hallie, and they denied him. They straight up denied him. Then you got his little fans on social media defending him because in his he showed some documentations. He showed us a slew of text messages from Hallie, which when I looked at those text messages, I was slightly confused because those text messages really, honestly, I was looking at those text messages like, are these real? Are these real text messages? And then so he's talking about the fact that he's worried about the baby and the baby's safety with Hallie, right? We know Hallie has depression, probably anxiety, right? And she also dealt with postpartum depression. So she was telling him at one point to come get the baby. And here's my thing when it comes to DDG. If you felt in your heart of hearts that your son was in danger by his mother, you wouldn't have waited until this point to try to take him away from his mom. You know what I'm saying? Halo is what, a year and a half, almost 2, right? If you felt this way about Hallie and her mental health, and he's a piece of shit. Because if you can really sit here and do this to her, that speaks volumes to who you are as a person. And then also the fact that after she had your baby, she found out you were cheating on her. So he's trying to keep her, like I said, he's trying to keep her from taking Halo to Italy or Europe with her for filming or something that I don't know what she's filming, but she's going away for a couple of months, right? So it says, this is coming from the Neighborhood Talk. It says DDG reportedly wants sole custody of Halo. He claims Hallie isn't mentally healthy enough to take care of their 1-year-old. Also alleges Hallie tried to have an abortion behind his back, but she didn't go through with it. Well, if she tried to have one and didn't go through with it, what are you bringing that up for? So he also showed a picture of where she allegedly stabbed him. Honestly, you guys, when it comes to DDG, I think he's a piece of shit, just through and through. He's a piece of shit, and I don't have much use for him. Like I said, this is manipulation. This is manipulation and this is manipulative, right? Because you were ducking and dodging her trying to summon you to court, right? But then you want to go and file these motions now. Like I said a few minutes ago, if DDG ever felt anything, worried for the safety of his son, then why are you just waiting until now? I honestly feel like Miss Shirley's mama, it's all about, a stunt for him. I'm not going to sit here and say I don't believe he loves his son. I do believe he loves his child, right? He might love his child, but I think Halo is also an opportunity for him to prop him up on his lives and all that kind of stuff, photo ops, all that kind of stuff. But again, like I said, I'm not going to sit here and say I don't think he loves his son, because I do think he loves his son. But I also feel like what he's doing is also a way to take a dig and stick it to Hallie, right? And the thing that I found so funny is he's the one he's doing all this stuff. And I'm like, everything that you're doing, you're proving what she said about you. And you're also, sir, I don't know what attorney you got, but I would fire them expeditiously because they're not a great attorney for you. Because here's my thing. You're doing all this stuff. The courts are going to see, like, this is stuff that she can take to the courts. And this is in court. These things are in court documents that she and her lawyer can defend and talk about, right? And, if she's been seeking treatment, then she has, like, her therapist can release her notes and everything for her. So I don't know how this helps him in any way. Like, I really honestly do not know how this helps him. But hey, if this is what he wants to do, let him do it. I don't think it's gonna bode well for him. That's just that's my 2 cents. You guys tell me what you think and what you feel, and then we can go ahead and pause here and move on to the last story of the week, you guys. Shall we? All right, you guys, so the last story of the week. I ain't gonna spend too much time on this shit, but I think it's hilarious. I think it's something that we all saw coming. And this is politics, you guys. So I say politics for last. And the reason why I say this for last is because it's more funny than it is anything else, right? So you guys know Elon Musk is no longer, in the White House working with T.A.C.O. So he's out. And he's not happy about it, right? He went on a Twitter tirade, right? He basically is talking, letting us know that without him and his help with the election, T.A.C.O wouldn't be in the Oval Office. The Republicans it would have been a 51-49, 51 for the Democrats, 49 for the Republicans, with his help, right? So he's also upset about this, the one big beautiful bill, which I still think that's a stupid name for the bill. He's upset about that bill. He's not upset about the bill because it'll hurt American people. He's upset because of it hurting him, right? So there was a credit in the bill for electric vehicles. So that has been since removed, right? And so Elon has been, like I said, going it's been all day long. I'm like, is he on a high? He must be, right? Because it's hilarious to me, right? Which a lot of people saw that coming, that Elon and T.A.C.O were eventually going to fall out with each other. I'm surprised it lasted as long as it did. You got two ego-driven men, honestly, and T.A.C.O, he really didn't speak out, but he has said some things on live social, and it's funny to me, you guys. I kid you not. I've enjoyed it. I've immensely enjoyed it, right? Because Elon is saying things that we knew. We knew that y'all rigged the election. Can we prove that y'all rigged the election? No, I don't think we can. But I wonder if Elon continues on this tirade, will he eventually say what he did? Because oh, you guys, this administration. Speaking of this administration, let's talk about this real quick. So I think this happened Tuesday or Wednesday, one of the two. So T.A.C.O has enacted. You remember in 2017, he had that travel ban on those Middle Eastern countries, right? Well, he's brought it back. And there was something that happened in Colorado, but the man was Egyptian, right? So he's enacted a travel ban. It's 19 countries. I know Yemen is part of it. Haiti is part of it. Egypt is not a part of it. Egypt is nowhere near part of that travel ban. And I'm like, and then I looked and I'm like, it seems like it's a lot of black and brown countries that he's targeting. Whatever, y'all. Whatever. When it comes to that, like when I tell y'all I hate that man, I hate that man. But yeah, you guys, T.A.C.O is doing the most. Now I want y'all to tell me. No, I don't need y'all to tell me because I know. T.A.C.O, 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 T.A.C.O. He he's in a bit of a mess because honestly, I feel like Elon holds all the power when it comes to him. I don't think he can really truly afford to piss Elon off at all. Speaking of that one big beautiful bill, let's discuss that really quickly too. While we're talking about while we're on politics, these politicians, these Republicans that ass kiss T.A.C.O, I have a problem with all of them because y'all need to grow a spine and a backbone. So dumbass Marjorie Taylor Greene came out. I don't know if it was the end of last week or the beginning of this week. I think it was last week. She was upset because she didn't read the fucking bill, and she approved that bill moving on, but she didn't read the bill. I was like, are you seriously kidding me? That's your job. That is your job to read things before you send it to the Senate. So she's like, when it comes back from the Senate, because there's something in there about AI, right? And it takes away the states' right when it comes to AI for about 10 years. And her thing is, and I'm paraphrasing, her thing is, we don't know what AI is going to be in 10 years. Girl, you see what AI is currently. It's a mess. But whatever. When I tell you, it's just the fact that these people kowtow to this man. They kiss his ass. They're afraid of him. They're afraid of his base. And I just, for the life of me, don't understand it. But it's, they can do whatever they gonna do whatever they want to do when it comes to that man. God help us, right? The midterms are right around the corner. So hopefully in the midterms, the Democrats have a great message and can regain some kind of control. I would love it if we could impeach and remove that man from office. I know that would then make Vance the president, but at this point, I just want that man gone, you guys. I really just want that man gone. I don't think I can do 3 years of him. I can't. But yeah, you guys, that's all we got this week. I think I talked about everything that I had in my thing to talk about. Yep, that's all we had. So this video is pretty short, you guys. I didn't know if it would be 30 minutes, but we're almost at 40 minutes. So hey, we good. So yeah, you guys, we do this every single week, same time, same place, same channel. You guys know if you don't see it on Friday at 10 a.m., you'll see it on Friday at 4:30 p.m. And if you don't see it at 4:30, you guys will see it at 10 a.m. on Saturday morning. Now, going forward, next week, you guys, I don't know how next week is going to play out for me because next week I'm actually going home for the Juneteenth celebration in my hometown. So I'm thinking about leaving out Friday because I actually got to go to court in my hometown. I have to go to court in my hometown because I have 3, well hell now it's 4, because I have a failure to appear in court ticket too. So I had 3 tickets previously, and now I got a failure to appear in court ticket, and I also have a warrant for my arrest. I have a warrant out for me. But the thing is, I've had this. I just found out like a few weeks ago that I had the warrant because I was going through some mail, and I was like, oh, they issued a warrant for my arrest. Damn, that warrant has been in place since 2023. That warrant has been in place since 2023. But yeah, so I got to go home next weekend to handle up on the warrant that I got. and take care of the tickets, because if I don't take care of the ticket, then I can't renew. This year my driver's license expires, so I have to take care of this before my license expires, because if my license expires, then I'm gonna have to pay a $500 fine for that. So yeah, you guys. So next week, I don't know how that's gonna play out, but we'll be here nonetheless. But yeah, you guys, I've already said the same time, same place, same channel. But yeah, you guys, be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on your post notifications, share the video, you guys. And until the next time, stay safe, take care of yourselves, wash your hands, be blessed, and I'll see you guys later. So this week, I will be back with the Never Ever Meds, Really B and I. We will be going live on Saturday for Beyond the Gates. So we're gonna stick with our. I think we're gonna stick with our normal time between 12 and 1. So we'll see you guys then, and it's gonna be on Really B's channel this week. Now, what I'm gonna do is, since I'm not gonna be there with her next weekend, I'm gonna try something different this week for myself as well, where I do a pre-recorded video and upload it as a premiere for you guys. But I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.